It is quite nice when you get to help your friends with their projects. This is the best shot I have on how it used to look because in my limited wisdom I did not take a single picture of the old stovetop setup. But the fun part when helping your friends is that you get to practice and learn, change the scenery and your routine a little bit. In addition, you get to break out the tools you don't get a chance to use, so it's a win-win situation. My buddy decided to get a new full range stove to replace the old stove top because a knob broke off. He broke it off. But by the time we were done taking out the old stove, we had broken all the knobs. So we had to finish and we went at it. In the end, the first knob accident proved to be a saving grace because the new stove gets the job done much faster and it cooks much faster. We undid the steel conduit out from the junction box because the connections were secured inside the box and we had to get those undone before moving on to cutting up the cabinets. And we used any tool we had, but my favorite part was when we used the chainsaw. But it seems that the multi-tool was much more effective and it did most of the work and it was very precise as well. So here we're trying to save ourselves a trip to the store by taking the old stove apart and reusing the existing steel conduit. But we had a bit of trouble taking it apart and we did spend like an hour or so taking it apart.
Of course. Duci bani bucătărie. Las că n-ai nimic. Okay, that works. But the bucătăria cu duci bani că nu sunt tot la cap. Stupid is stupid does.
We can reuse this at some point in the future.
Man, this thing vibrates the shit out of it.
Okay, good job. Where's my glove?
I don't think I can do it all the way, but step aside. Step aside.
Actually, you should be...
No, you know what? You have the... Okay, that was the best cut I ever done.
We also had to remove the ovens to be able to remove the screws and the nails from the cabinet end because we wanted to reuse that end to the new end or as the new end to build a wall to the cabinets.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I have to put it vertically here. Wicked job! All the way down.
All the way. Move.
Good. Let me take it out of here. I just vacuumed, making a mess.
All this work is temporary because my buddy wants to update the entire kitchen, but we don't know exactly what's the plan. So all in all, this is a fun project because when the aspect requirements are low, you can't do no wrong. So it's a bit of fun. It took us about 6 hours or more to get the job done, but the ironic part was that we spent 2.5 hours or more on the electrical connections because we could not figure out how to place the new cord and the tension release brace in the back of the oven. We figured it out eventually and we got it to work and installed the new outlet on the wall. And the time we were trying to save by taking apart the old stove and saving the old steel conduit proved to be an experience for the future. The third wire, which is the neutral and the ground, inside the steel conduit wasn't shielded, so we still had to take a trip to the store and get the proper shielded cord and an outlet. It was cool that my buddy has a multimeter that is automatic and it senses the AC versus DC and measures the electricity automatically. Then we tested each hot wire to make sure we follow the code and the actual wire collars correspond with the hot, neutral, and the ground wires. We measured that part just to make sure we're not blindly assuming that the collars are matching because over time standards and codes evolve. And we drew that conclusion from previous work experience because we tried to change the thermostat and the pinouts weren't matching. Therefore we had to measure and make sure that we had the right voltage to the right wires. Because boilers have become more complex over time and not everyone may have followed the codes and matched the wire collars with each component of the boiler system. We weren't able to get that job done and we were rescued by another friend who found a short in the boiler's brain box. And now the boiler is working in the dead of winter, which is great. The moral of the story is that the old adage of measuring twice and cutting once still applies. But by now we have fixed the main important infrastructure like the drain pipe from the kitchen, the new stove, the boiler, and we managed to paint the second bedroom. And in between these necessary projects, we also built a small surface but tall workbench that has become also the breakout water cooler quote unquote when we take a break. As you saw, there's a lot of work and we are trying to balance it out and apply the most energy where it matters most. We do end up bickering about how we should do certain things, but overall when the work is not monumental and mostly us two can get it done, it's quite fun. There are a few small and major things that we have to get to, but until then, I bid thee, mon amis, farewell and adieu. On this channel I speak mostly about 3D printers and their particular specifications, features, or lack thereof. Sometimes I may throw a wrench in the system with a review about my computer setup and or car fixing video. If you think you can stomach this type of format, throw me a like or a subscribe. Thank you.